FFT Racing. So after a good day of riding, one of the things that we want to highlight is bike maintenance. A lot of people just hose them off and put them up till the next time. So we're a little adamant about keeping the bikes clean and tip-top tuned and ready to ride the next time. So let's just get at it. We'll see you out there.
Come on. He doesn't want to come home. Hey guys, just got home from Glen Helen. Obviously the riding day is not over. We got to download the bike, start our maintenance day, starting with a little bike wash. Stay tuned. Alright, so we got the bike unloaded. Now I just want to show you some tools that I use to kind of make the bike washing a little bit more successful. First and foremost, you want to invest in a exhaust plug. This prevents any moisture or water from getting inside of your exhaust, which can lead up into the engine. So always make sure you put that in. Secondly, you always want to take your seat off, because the seat foam will break down if it continuously gets wet. So you always want to take that off. If you choose not to, and you choose not to use a air filter cover, just make sure that you don't spray water directly into these breather areas. Third, this is a scraper tool. This is great for on the track. It's also good for when you're at the house and you have any excess mud and you want to make sure all that's off. Kind of helps the pressure washer or your high pressure hose do its job a little efficienter. And then the fourth thing is, like you said, when you take your seat off, you always want to have, tools on standby. I like to use the 10mm T-handle wrench. It works pretty well. Some other areas to consider when you're washing the bike: just be very cognizant of your fork seals. Always want to wash at a 45-degree angle downward, never upward into your fork seals, because water at a high pressure can get up in your fork seals, and that'll really wreak havoc on your suspension. Other than that, everything else should be, pretty well safe as far as washing. Again, if you're using a pressure washer, just make sure that it's at a reasonable pressure, because we don't want to damage our graphics or our stickers, or more importantly, the plastics. So, hey, I was just at Glen Helen for today. I had a pretty good wash before we got there. I think SC1, not to plug them, I think using their product really saved me a lot of scrubbing and high pressure. As you can see, not a whole lot of mud built up, and that's one of the key things that's great about SC1. It helps not only make the bike shine and look showroom brand new, but it also helps keep some of the mud off it. Even whatever track you're on, it's going to have some form of mud, and as we all know, mud is very heavy, and that's why I recommend one of these scraper tools in between motos, scraping all your excess mud off. All right, so let's get this seat cover off and let's get into washing it. So there are a couple different methods that you can wash your bike. Either up on a bike stand. I like to use it on the bike stand because it keeps everything vertical, keeps me away from the fork seals. Or you can lay the bike down on the side, which Chris prefers to do. Either way, definitely want to make sure you take your seat off, because this will help preserve your seat for longer life. stuff off, you want to give it a good foam cannon bath, or if you're using the traditional. But either way, come on, soap. We'll redo that. You'd be amazed where dirt and dust and mud, everything gets in. So you want to be very thorough. Obviously start on one side of the bike because everything's going to dry if you get up to there. And just take your time. If you were using SC1 like I was, you know, it's obviously not too bad up in here. So it doesn't require a whole lot of scrubbing. And I use just a regular washcloth rag on all my plastics. And then for the tough jobs, I'll use a sponge on my tires. Sides. Again, you want to be as thorough as you can. Check your spokes while you're at it. You just never know. For your chain, again, any kind of scrubbing device, you want to be as thorough as that. This will save you money in the long run. Clean chain. Don't worry, you can lubricate it at the final stage. There's a lot of tips and tricks to actually properly cleaning a chain. A lot of people actually will take the chain off and put it in a thing of oil and let it sit overnight, and all the dirt and mud that's inside your rollers will actually come out. At the same time, it's going to be properly lubricated. Again, part of your maintenance, make sure your sprocket bolts didn't loosen up. You may want to try to torque those down later in your maintenance. I learned a very hard, expensive lesson where I actually had some bolts fall out down at Fox Raceway and went over a jump, sheared off one of those and basically wrecked my whole hub, and I had to buy a whole new one, including a rim because it cracked the rim. So this is why maintenance is important. There's a million and one things you can do with your frame. You can use a green scrubby, anything abrasive. Your boots tend to rub on your frame a lot, and especially for Hondas, these aluminum frames, they do get oxidized, and there are ways, other YouTube videos that can help bring that shine back. I'm a weekend warrior, so I'm a little lazy on that. I just ride it, clean it, and keep it ready to rock. So another thing, when you're washing your tires, you also want to make sure that you didn't have anything punctured. None of your knobs are cracked or loose, because that stuff will really ruin the dependability of your tire. And also, you can kind of see how your tire has worn since the last maintenance period. In my case, you know, I've done some track riding and done some off-road in the desert riding, so this tire has definitely taken a beating. For a weekend warrior like me, there's still plenty of life left on this tire. It's a Kenda Washougal 2 dual compound. It's my second tire ever on this dirt bike, so it's given me pretty good life. Hey, another tech tip when you're washing your bike, especially when you're washing your forks, you always want to inspect this. These all should be smooth. There should be no dings or scratches. If there are, this could cause problems with your fork seals later on in your service window. So just when you're washing it, just feel around for it. You may not ever have any, but you know, in the off chance a rock kicked up when your forks were compressing. You never know. In this case, everything feels just like it should, nice and smooth. In the off chance you do get a ding or scratch, when you take it to your suspension shop, they should be able to sand it out, hopefully. As you can see behind your fork guards, there'll be a little bit of wear and tear on there, but nothing too concerned about. All right, now that she's all soaped up and scrubbed down, it's time to rinse her off. You always want to be thorough when you rinse off, because any soap residue will kind of impact your final details. As far as drying, you can either let the sun dry it. In our case, not a whole lot of sun or heat right now, or you can just use a microfiber or a chamois cloth that'll help reduce those watermarks. All right, and that just about does the drying. All right, so now we're going to get into the best part of cleaning the bike, in my opinion, the details. For the tires, I like to use Armor All Extreme Tire Shine. It works well on the tires. Contrary to what you think, we're not riding on the street, so slick surfaces doesn't really apply. For your chain, I like to use Maxima Chain Guard. It works really well. It doesn't create a really sticky residue, but it holds up really well. And then last but not least, SC1 Maxima. This is really good stuff for your plastics. And I promise you that you will have showroom finish shine, and it will definitely prevent mud buildup under your fenders during your moto. And of course, you still need your beverage for the maintenance section of this. So cheers. All right, so let's get started. Really no specific thing that's got to go first, but I like to do the tires. All right, as far as tires, I mean, you just kind of follow your manufacturer's or your brand's instructions. Don't worry if it gets on the rims, you can always wipe it off. And you want to do that with both sides. And you want to get it in on here. Alright, and that should just about do the tires. The great thing about this is you don't have to do anything, you just spray it on and it'll do its thing. Next thing we want to do, really in no order, we put a lot of water on this chain, so we want to make sure we lubricate it properly. This does come with a straw, but I lost it. Typical garage guy. But just make sure you do a liberal amount on there. Don't worry about the excess, you can always wipe it off. So we sprayed enough chain lube on there. We just want to wipe off some excess, and we want to get a swig of our garage beverage. All right, last but not least, we want to do SC1 on all of our plastics. All right, the key thing with this is you gotta leave it on your plastics for a good minute to 2 minutes to let it set in before you start wiping it off. All right, again, the key to SC1 to preventing that buildup of the mud, get it really good underneath your fenders. And even on moto day, you could spray a little extra on it, and it'll do an even better job of keeping mud off of out of your fenders. And then just again, in no particular order, get it all up in there, apply a liberal amount of it. All right, we got it on there. Now we just got to wait 1 to 2 minutes, and then. All right, so it's been about 2 minutes. The SC1 should have set up nicely on your plastics. Now you just kind of want to buff it and give it that nice shine. Apologize for the late in the day footage. You know, duty calls when you got a family and you're a weekend warrior, and stuff happens. But again, just wipe it down real nice, including the seat. I did the seat. It does kind of bring out the black of it again. Again, just keep wiping it down. And I really wish, I mean, I'm sure you can see with this footage how shiny the bike really is, and it's. I do not own anything with SC1. I fell in love with the product, and it's just a really great product that makes that bike have a nice factory showroom shine. All right, well, that about does it. This isn't the way, but it's a way. If you guys have any other tips or tricks that you guys would like to share, please post it in the comments below. But again, this is just a veteran guy in his garage trying to teach everybody how to maintain their motorcycle. In the next video, we'll definitely show you guys how to get into the nitty-gritty of the maintenance part. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, this is another one for the blooper reel. That was rough. Yeah, you ride 6 hours at Glen Helen and then come back and do a YouTube video on your bike cleaning it up, when all you want to do is take some medicine, have some food, and drink some beer. But
the bike looks fucking sexy.
The bike looks sexy.
She looks good. Good job, babe.
Thanks. Hey, cheers, everybody.
My pressure washer is broken.
Supposed to be foamy or
Here's my foam.
There's no phone.
You're always in the frame.
I am.
Number 712 Doggo. I'm part of this team too, guys.
20 minutes later. No phone.
I have no phone. Maybe the soap was too thick.
That's what she said.